Good morning, everybody. This is Bob Kingpin Harris with another edition of Pro Sports Broadcasting. Joining me today is Joe Delano. Joe Delano is the president and CEO of Smart Light Sports. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a good day so far.
It certainly has.
Hey, Joe, as our listeners and viewers, I'm so used to saying listeners, because 24 years of sports radio, you get on TV and you start calling them listeners. But they're actually viewers now.
Absolutely.
Which is a good thing, and they're actually looking at you also at the same time next to me. Joe Delano, again, is the president and CEO of Smart Light Sports, and Smart Light Sports is a really cool product. As you know, we try to bring you products also related to the world of sports, besides interviewing sports celebrities. And this product is really cool. Tell us a little bit about the product. I know I've had the opportunity of looking at it myself, and we actually will show the viewers the product also.
Well, the product came out of the idea of how can we connect with the players and coaches and increase the efficiency of the practice. And we kept on seeing kids play with videos, and we thought, would it be cool to have a video on the ice so that the kids and players and the coaches could all interact with, and then have the full intention of the coach's plan be a visual clue for the players.
Yeah, and I'm going to give the viewers a little look at what it's all about here. And right now we have your movie playing. You can talk right above it also.
Okay, great. Well, the really nice thing about this video that we shot was that none of these players ever had seen Ice Light before. And we ran about 24 drills in about an hour, and the kids really got into it. They had a lot of fun with it, and what was really neat about the whole thing, there was very few whistles. And once we showed the kids what to do with the animation example that we have on the ice, the players just took to it like fish in water.
And, that's very interesting right there in the fact that they've never seen it before. You just really turned it on. Did you have to say, well, this is what you have to do? Or they just said, or they just did it?
Not really, because if you have a video game and then you sit down and you teach the kid how to play a video game, you might get the box thrown at your head, where they're just saying, please, I can do this by myself, let me just do it. And that's what we found out, that they're eager, they're smart, and once we give the visual clues, then we could really concentrate on coaching, not on the management of the drill.
You mentioned something right there, and I think that was pretty interesting. All these kids have grown up with the video games. I mean, the video games that they play on, on TV and the Wii's and all the other things. So they might take to this easier than, let's say, I would.
Well, you and I, Bob, are analogic thinking in our mind. They have been digitally imprinted. So when they get a video game, it doesn't take very long for them to understand the ins and outs of it. I mean, my son plays Call of Duty and Black Ops, and he knows every single little inch of this video game. And not only that, but it's become a social thing for these kids. Now they're playing with it online, speaking with one another. It's a social thing. And now if we don't respond to that, then we're not participating in their world, and it's really all about them.
Tell me how this would actually help coaches prepare not only for the game but also their practices.
Well, any coach that you know always, they talk about preparing for practices, and for a lot of volunteer coaches, that's very difficult because they have full-time jobs, and even paid coaches have difficult times preparing because how do you keep it fresh? One of the things USA Hockey said, change the environment, change it so it's more more edutainment for the players. It's difficult to change the environment in a hockey rink or in an indoor stadium, indoor turf, because you're limited on the amount of equipment that you're going to carry, purchase, and manage. So what we did was we were able to change the game surface temporarily by putting the graphics down onto the surface and allow the teaching tools and the visual markers to appear and challenge these players by putting time clocks but when we put the time clocks on the ice, what happened was we took a practice and we actually ramped up the speed so it felt like a game speed reaction, because now we said you have 20 seconds to do the drill. Now, 20 seconds to a kid doesn't really mean much on the ice when he's huffing and puffing, but if he can see the 20 seconds, now it's a whole different ballgame.
Now, what's some of the feedback on this from not only the coaches but players?
Players, it's a great question, because when we were doing this, we had never heard this before. Once the first drill went down and they had fun with it, then they said to us, "Coach, what's next? What's next? What's next?" And so this eagerness to participate in these drills we had never seen before, because if you ask any coach, they never hear that. They're like, "Oh, great, another drill. We got to do another drill." So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to bring the entertainment value and the game value and the drill value all in together as one. Coaches love it because they don't have to set up that drill, and they can increase the time that they can practice, or the skate time. These kids thought they had skated for 2 hours, and they actually only skated for 50 minutes.
And the thing is, when you say that, they thought that what you did is you got their full work in that 50 minutes, so it saved a lot of time because of the setup also, correct? Because I think before we went on the air, you had talked about, hey, listen, you got to set up cones, you have to do this. It saves a lot of time, and what's happening is when the coaches, and you correct me if I'm wrong, when the coaches are setting up their cones, the guys are standing around.
And when they stand around, that's when trouble begins. So 20% to 30% of your practice time is setting up drills and, managing the corners and managing these lines. With what we've done is we've eliminated that by allowing the system to be preloaded before the coach and the players actually get to the facility in which they're going to train. So the coaches would have their drills. They come in a video format, so we can email them to the players or have them go to a central website where they would go to their locker room online and download the video, watch the video, and then come to practice. And then the videos would actually be in the system before the players and coaches actually get to the facility. And then at that point, it's now just a matter of turning on the system and playing the drills.
Joe, what type of teams, what level of a skill player is, organizations are looking at this product, and we've shown it on the ice here, but this isn't only for ice hockey. Tell us some of the other sports that you're dealing with, and the caliber of some of the teams that you're also dealing with also.
Well, we're right now engaged in conversations with the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're about 2 weeks away from a meeting with them. They're very interested in seeing this being performed at the Micro Ice Center of North Andover here in Massachusetts. And so once we get that that product up and on the ice, they're very much eager to talk with us. We've talked with.
Is that actually where they practice? Where they have their practice? They don't actually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's a very small rink. It's 39 feet wide by 90 feet long, and it's a really, really cool place because these small skill areas now are going to be projected on the ice, and it really goes with what they're talking about. So that drill that you see on ice would fit perfectly into their arena. But we're talking with prep schools. We're talking with some very elite high schools. We're talking some training facilities. Training facilities are very much excited about this because if you have trainers there that want to put down agility ladders, well, they don't carry 15, 16, 20 ladders. We can project 20, 50 ladders onto the turf, And now we give the animation of what we want them and how we want them to move in and out of the ladder, and everybody has a ladder. And if you go to Turflight on our website, you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
And give the viewers your information as far as how they would get a hold of you, and your contact information, please.
Sure. Best way would be to see the product would be to go to the website, smartlightsports.com, and that's L-I-G-H-T, light. And once you're there, you can take a look at what we're doing and what we've done and where we're going. Plus, you can reach me at 781-859-9610, and that's my cell phone.
Right, and let's recap. We're not finished here yet. I'm not letting you go that quick, but it's for ice hockey. It's for football. What other sports right now?
Well, I mean, anything that's on a turf, lacrosse, field hockey, baseball in an indoor facility. We actually, when baseball teams go to indoor facilities, well, the problem that they face is there's no diamonds.
Right.
We actually can project a diamond onto an indoor facility so that the baseball team comes in, we project the diamond. The lacrosse team comes in, we project the lacrosse field. Any type of field, flag football, wiffle ball, whatever the gridiron. Now, an indoor facility like this has many different teams. They can't put down the lines for everybody.
So wow, that can be used in many different ways and situations. You know, it can just be I'm going to call it a gymnasium. I don't want to call it a gymnasium, but I've seen many bubbles out there where they have a football field and so forth. People can actually open up a facility, put a turf down, and actually conduct many different drills for different sports in one place.
And if they don't buy the green turf, if they buy the white turf and put down a white turf, now the range of color goes up exponentially. The basketball court, is a huge success with our product. Marching bands that want to practice indoors, we put down the marching band choreography where they have to be. Okay, because a lot of different.
We didn't talk about that prior to this. I mean, so many different uses, because what you're really doing is getting these players and the band members, let's say, to a certain spot. We had talked about before coming on air, is that you can actually program in your opponent's situation or what you feel that they'll line up to your play in, correct?
Correct. So, the football team has film on the game. We can take the film and simulate where those players are on the turf, and then put the offense, up against the defense, the virtual defense, if you will, and we can study exactly where they pull and what they do and how they cover, so that we can counteract that.
And in the same vein, another thing that we had talked about before we came on the air is that you send out a wide receiver and you say you go 15 yards and make a cut, all right? And now they can actually see that. And you want to explain that on the turf?
Well, we put a wide out. Now, depending on how wide he or she is out, was going to depend on the timing of the pass. So if the coach is diagramming a 12-yard route out straight, and we want him to cut back 40, we want to post back 45 degrees, and then we want him to do a little button curl. How big's the button curl? What's 45 degrees? So these things can be placed onto the turf as a pattern, and the player can see the pattern. Here's 12 yards. Here's 45 degrees. Here is the curl that I want you to, because everybody that listens to this has a different interpretation of what a curl is. Where is 45 degrees? The wide out doesn't have a protractor in its back pocket. So it's real difficult when you're putting a lot of pressure on these players. And if we just had a simple way of seeing it, we would have a lot. We could get to another level of sports that I think we're going to get to if we can just get through this communication issue.
Right, and this is really a cool product. This can only help the sports, period. I was going to say just sports, period, but now you just threw one at me that the marching band could use it. Are there any other situations like that might be able to use Smart Light?
Well, think about it. I mean, you have a high school dance, a high school play. Where
Right.
I want my actors to come into. Where do I want them to go in the movement? So anything that could be choreographed is definitely something that we want to look at. Seniors, the mall walkers, right? They go around in circles and circles and circles. Well, we were talking to an owner this past winter, and what he wants to do is he wants to actually put in a virtual shuffleboard court in his indoor facility.
Oh,
And then
wow.
he wants to put an interactive dance floor down for the elderly. So Glenn Miller, let's say Glenn Miller is the video. We'll shoot Glenn Miller onto the floor and have the music playing, and the seniors could be dancing to Glenn Miller while Glenn Miller is being played on the floor.
Well, that's great, and that's some fun stuff. But there's also some business stuff. As I sit here and I think about when you say that, as the mall walkers are walking around the mall, why can't they see the specials of the day for the different stores, like advertising?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you see in the video on the ice, we are interjecting branding for companies.
All right, I'm going to
So
play some more of that right now. But yes, I
Absolutely.
saw, I believe on the hockey side there, you had Bauer was on the ice when they were doing the figure eights. Right now they're in the passing drills.
Right. So we can interject the branding of companies, and we can actually have it right there on the ice temporarily. During a game situation, you could put down anything you want on the ice. Let's just say the player scores. The whole ice lights up, goal, or the number player, or Johnny's name flashes on the ice.
That
It
is so cool. I mean, it really is cool. There's so many different uses for your product that I'm sure we're going to be seeing it in stadiums nearby pretty soon.
Well, we're hoping, and we're hoping. In the big picture is we want everybody to have the same access to training, because as you know as well as I do, the first three kids are in that line are getting the information. The kid that's in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th in line, he doesn't know what's going on because the instructions stop after the first or third kid.
Well, Joe, this is a great product and can be used from beginners all the way up to professionals. And appreciate you coming on this morning. But before I let you go here, please give our viewers your information again.
Sure. On the web, you can find us at smartlightsports.com. And if you want to give me a call, you can give me a call at 781-859-9610.
Well, Joe, thanks so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really had a great time.